It's coffee time from the gazebo. Yeah. See what's going on in the neighborhood. Little birdies everywhere. That's where the front yard pond is. It's a little cobbled path. I have to finish it. There's a garden. And this is the side to the back of the yard between two houses. And I have a lot of the hanging solar lights. It helps keep the blue heron away. It blocks the landing path for the large blue heron. The large blue heron has a large wingspan, and the trees, between the trees and the strings, it's enough to keep him away. Without that, he'd be back. He has taken many fish out of the bottom pond in past years. I've caught him here. I've seen him from the house window and opened the window and scared him one day as he was fishing in the bottom pond. And that was a few years ago. So I've gotten smarter now over the years. And the Japanese use this technique, I was told. Except for they hang strings and little pieces of torn cloth, you know, that will wave and that will scare and keep the blue heron away, the one with the big wingspan. Yeah, so if you block the landing path for the blue heron, it'll help keep them away. So it's a series of 4 connecting ponds, and we've just looked at the 2 bottom ponds, and that is the massive yellow flag, and it grows and floats in like 2.5 feet of water. Some hornwort there, and it's trying to grow. There's a big black koi in here, and I've been trying to get him out. He's so hard to catch. I tried to get him last night, and now he's disappeared under the yellow flag. That's why it's so hard to get him. I've been trying to get him out of here for years. I want this to only be for the goldfish. There's 2 koi, but now the koi are scared and they're hiding beneath the yellow flag. It's not even planted in any soil. The roots of the yellow flag, you can see them, I believe. There's the roots. And because it's a large enough mass, it's stable and it floats. I just have that stick there in place, a couple sticks, just to keep it over there, because it wants to take over the whole pond. But the yellow flag, you can see it has a spear-shaped leaf. And any of the water plants with a spear-shaped leaf, like the yellow flag or the grasses or rushes and irises, are the best for photosynthesis filtration. And of course, the bigger the plant, like that big giant old yellow flag that's been growing there since 1991, I have divided it over the years. It just continues to grow. And now it's so big I can't get it out of the pond. It's too heavy. And so I just rip away pieces in the spring. It's out of control, honestly. I have to get my nephew in there, because now I have a new plan. In the future, I want to redo the bottom pond and connect it with this pond, make these 2 maybe 1 pond. I don't know. I was thinking about that. My mind never stops. Oh, look at this old sprinkler. it came with this old house. And it's just kind of cute. Old stuff. Look at the big koi in there. There's the big white one, that big white koi. And there's the big gold one over there. Those two have been out since the early 90s. They're well over 25 years old. And they've been outside every year. They winter out here. I keep this pond running. They all run. There's a little hole there where the water flows down to the next pond. I shut down the spinning balls in the winter and slow the flow by shutting one of the extra pumps down in the fall. But I keep that pump there, and I just put the ball away, and it continues to flow, so it continues to circulate with all the ponds. That way I can place one heater in one of the bottom ponds, and it keeps all the ponds warm. And if you go back to some of my videos, you can see that I wintered the pond, and I have been, since I've been on YouTube and recording it, but I've been actually wintering the ponds for many years. Although this new pond here, this upper addition, which is 5 feet deep, this is the newest pond. It's only like a couple years old now, or 3 years old, I think. Was it 3 years ago? I think it was 3 years ago I built this. And I made it with a good edge so that the big koi can't jump out. That's why it's so built up. This stick fell in the water. It's not supposed to be there. But I usually have it like this, just to help keep the koi from jumping out. Because with the 5 foot deep pond, they can jump higher. And one day I really saw them jump really high. And I've heard horror stories about people's koi jumping out of the ponds. And so, like, that's my greatest fear with these guys, is the koi jumping out of the pond. But with it built up, and I have a good side, and, you know, there's things along the edge, it's not easy for them to jump out. So I don't think they'll be able to jump out of here. So they should be safe. Yeah, so it's 5 feet deep. It is built up. It's made with landscaping ties like the other one here. This is the back side. I haven't rocked it in like I've done the other side. The side is easy access for maintenance. I can stand here and with the net scoop out the bottom if there's anything. It's not very often that much collects down here. It usually goes down, 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 and gets stuck in the yellow flag and becomes part of its marsh. This yellow flag is trying to take over the world. Now it's illegal in Canada, but when I bought it originally, I got it at the garden center back in 1991 when I had my first pond, and now they say it's a noxious weed and to get rid of it. Look at that vine, it's eating the house. Although, of course, I'm not going to get rid of it. I am going to cut all these off here today. Because that way, if you cut the seed heads off, it won't spread so bad. And it's such a powerful cleaner. I mean, anything with the spear-shaped leaf, you see how it has the spear-shaped leaf? Grasses, sedges, irises. Well, this is a powerful photosynthesis filtrator, all right? Like this thing here is going to eat a lot of the pond waste. It floats. It's not even planted in any soil. It floats in almost 2.5 feet of water. Look at this little tiny. Got an even weed in here. Look at that. Trees are trying to take over. It's a tree farm. Ouch. That cactus wasn't supposed to be prickly. But now that it's getting bigger, it has the odd prickle. I did this last year, and these were just so tiny, and now they're quite large. I put it in the greenhouse over the winter. Same with that one. That one has the new pot now. Oh, and it has a little doorway, and the fairies go in there when it gets too hot and they sleep. They have a house with a little chimney, and on top they have a cage. That's so wild birds don't come and eat them. So the cage also keeps the wild birds. Wild birds will mistake little fairies for bugs. Just kidding. Did you believe my little story? Really? I do like my fairies. It's good to let the mind wander. Take your mind off everything else, you know? And just stop and smell the flowers. Oh, there's that one koi. He's really pretty, but I can't get him out. Look at him. Where'd he go? There was the white koi with red and bluish markers. I can't see him now. Yeah, so that's my story today. In Canada, where the sky is always blue and the water's always clear.